I like this chair. Oh, geez, are you filming this? Okay. Hey, it's Bill Merk. What title do I got? Oh, I'm Klondike director. I just wanted to come and talk to you for a little bit about Klondike, and wanna we wanna have a little fun with Klondike. So let's pretend it's Klondike, and I'm gonna be sweating by the time this is over. So Klondike, if you haven't gone online and got the guide, get it. Why am I wearing my goofy hat? Why am I wearing my wool coat? Because if it's Klondike, it's cold, right? We don't do Klondike in July. We do it in February when it's supposed to be the coldest month. I'm not going to flip my ears down. What is Klondike? Klondike's a winter camporee. We want the troops to come and try their hand at scout craft, scout skills, scout knowledge. They're all little tests. We throw it in the form of a competition because everybody likes to be a winner, and even if you get 10th, you're still a winner because you spent night out in the snow playing when other people stayed home in their warm fuzzy beds. 10 duty stations, all based on scout skills, some more arduous and harder than others, but they're all silly fun. And they're all based around Robert W. Service's poetry. Who's Robert W. Service? He's the Bard of the North. If you've heard stories of the Yukon in the 1840s and the gold miners, well, Service was there and he wrote poetry. I'm going to read you one in a little bit. But here's my kicker. If you or your troop is interested in Klondike and wants to learn more about it, I, this handsome face, is willing to come and visit. I'm not all about the competition at Klondike. I'm all about the participation. The more we get people up there, the more opportunity we have to interact as units and to share common ideas and to make scouting better and to help youth. That's what we're after, is we want our youth to have experiences that a lot of other people don't get. Klondike is February 21 and 22. It's at Andes Prairie Snow Park, which is in the Umatilla National Forest between Weston, Oregon and Elgin, Oregon. You will need to get a snow park permit for any vehicle that you're going to bring up. All our activities are going to be based around the parking lot. You cannot set up a tent or a fire pit. We're going to have one fire pit allowed at the headquarters, and it's going to be raised off the parking lot surface. Can't camp in a tent in the parking lot. People can camp inside their automobiles or campers in the parking lot. We'll have to leave space for the snow sled hill people on the north side and the snowmobilers on the south side, so we get the whole middle of the parking lot. And it starts Friday night. So headquarters will be set up early morning, mid-morning, Friday, and troops can come and they can dig their snow caves, they can build their shelters, they can do their entrances Friday. I'm a big advocate of skipping school one day a year to go to Klondike, and then come up Friday night. We start check-in processes, and in the book it tells you that troops should present themselves prepared, showing the gear that they need. So we want the patrols. It's all about youth. So the patrols will present themselves. We want to see a clear defined leader, senior patrol leader or patrol leader, and dressed properly. Cotton kills. No Levi, Wrangler, Ariat, dungarees, no cotton. Snow pants, woolly bears. We love woolly bears. And scouts aren't required to camp in snow caves. You get extra points on campsite if you do. We promote patrols cooking by themselves, independent from the adults. But we realize smaller units sometimes have to cook with the adults, so the adults just move out of the way and use the kitchen as a common area for camp judging. The duty stations are pretty simple: knot tying, first aid, compass and find your way lost, measuring the height of a tree, tying some knots, getting over a free-flowing stream, it's fictitious, crossing a frozen lake, we do our best to pretend that, They're all in the manual, and there are little nuances. The judges at each station are going to be you people. We're going to ask scoutmasters to volunteer to take on a duty station and be the judge. We have instructions, and we'll give you a little in-service up there. We might even do a Zoom in late January for those that are going to volunteer so we can have a face-to-face conversation. We promote the fact that you need a sledge, S-L-E-D-G-E, sledge, a cargo carrying device. This is one crappy sample. You Google it, you're going to see 800 different plans. But the sledge they need to haul with them in their patrol from station to station. And the equipment that goes in the sledge, shovel, snowshoes, rope, you need 100 feet of rope, maybe 200. These are all tools you need to use in the winter. So gold nuggets, they're my favorite. So scout spirit, we're looking for patrols to have a cheer, a yell, a song, any of the silliness you can matter. In years past, we've even promoted bribes to the judges, you know, cookies, donuts, goodies like that. But they can earn up to 3 gold nuggets per station. And then they also earn gold nuggets for turning in on time and being the first and second and third to come in. And typically, the patrols that train, that read this manual and train and plan, score really high. They score in the 2,000 points range. And the patrols that are there having a great time participating, they're in the 800-900,000. And the patrols that are dysfunctional, and putting the word dysfun in dysfunctional, they get 300 or 400 points. Some don't finish, but that's okay. They were there. But it comes down to the top 3 or 4, maybe 5 patrols. It'll be the nugget count, the 5 points per nugget that, you know, define first, second, and third. Because those are the guys that came to play. They have scout spirit. They love silly songs. It's just a hoot. Parking passes are sold through the Forest Service in the different communities. And they're supplied by Oregon ODOT. It's a requirement from ODOT. The toll gate crossings store, which is about 12 miles north of Andes Prairie, sells them. I'm not sure in LeGrand and Elgin. You're gonna have to check with ODOT and find out who their vendors are. So we appreciate Oregon. We work with Umatilla County, Union County, ODOT, the Forest Service, and the 2 fire districts, so that we have all the emergency services planned. We're going to have a nurse on site, but we never have injuries. In fact, scouts have effected rescues of people who get hurt on the sled hill that break arms and legs, and we carry them down to meet the Elgin ambulance people. So we got you covered. The weather at Spout Springs Tollgate, Andes Prairie, it's winter, understand that. And there's usually 4 to 14 feet of snow. And now I've hauled a single axle utility trailer up there every year, and I drive extremely slow because ODOT does a good job of plowing, but trailers like to do silly things. Big trailers, no bueno. Got one more funny thing I want to do for you. So Robert W. Service, you've heard of his Lake LaBarge and the cremation of Sam McGee, but there's one that I like that I always challenge kids when they're up there and they're whining about in the cold, and it's called The Quitter. So it says, when you're lost in the wild and you're scared as a child and death looks you bang in the eye and you're sore as a boil, and according to Hoyle, you're going to cock your revolver and die. But the code of a man says, fight all you can. And self-dissolution is barred. In hunger and woe, it's easy to blow. It's hell served for breakfast that's hard. You're sick of the game, well, now that's a shame. You're young, you're brave, and you're bright. You've had a raw deal, I know, but don't squeal. Buck up, do your damnedest, fight. It's plugging away that will win you the day. Don't be a piker, old pard. So draw on your grit. It's so easy to quit. It's keeping your chin up that's hard. It's easy to cry that you're beaten and die. It's easy to crawfish and crawl. But to fight when hope's out of sight, why, that's the best game of them all. And though you come out of each grueling bout all broken and beaten and scarred, just one more try. It's dead easy to die. It's keeping on living that's hard. Come to Klondike. You'll hear more of that.